Deciding whether you should get back with an ex can be a difficult and complex decision. There are a lot of things you have to consider, such as why you broke up, how long ago the relationship ended, whether both parties have changed or grown since the breakup, and whether there's still a strong emotional connection between you and your ex. If your relationship ended due to external factors, it might be worth giving the relationship another chance. However, if the foundation of the relationship had significant issues to begin with, it might be a bad idea to get back together with an ex. If the cause for the breakup was infidelity, it will be much harder to make things work because cheating cuts deep emotional wounds, and most people aren't able to move past it. Ultimately, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to make sacrifices and compromises for the relationship? Can you and your partner commit to growing individually and as a couple? If the answer to any of these questions is no, it may not be worth pursuing things with your ex. Going into a relationship with a positive attitude and a willingness to make it work is essential. Identifying what's changed since you were together is important, and you must address any unresolved issues that led to the breakup so you can make sure it never happens again. If you're thinking about rekindling things with an old flame, but don't know if it's worth it, here are 6 reasons you might consider getting back together with an ex. Number 1, you still have feelings for each other. If you still have strong feelings for your ex, it's a sign that you might have something worth salvaging. Number 2, you had a strong emotional connection. If you had a deep emotional connection with your ex, you have the potential to reignite that spark. Assessing the emotional connection between you and your old flame is important. If the bond was genuine, it's at least worth considering. Of course, why you broke up in the first place is still an important factor. Number 3, the reason for your breakup wasn't too serious. If the reason for your breakup can be fixed, and it was due to something like distance, work, or bad timing, it may be worth rebuilding what you had with your partner. Number 4, you've had time to reflect. If you've had enough time to reflect on your relationship and what went wrong, you might be able to work through the issues you had since you now have a better understanding of them. Number 5, you have both grown. When you were in the relationship, you and your partner may have been at different stages in your life. This imbalance may have caused tension and disagreements, ultimately leading to the relationship's demise. If you and your ex have both grown and developed since the breakup, you may be more compatible now than you were before. Number 6, you are both excited about a relationship. If both you and your ex are eagerly enthusiastic about the prospect of getting back together, the relationship could work out this time. If you're thinking about working things out with your ex, or you've already made the first move, here are 7 things you can do to give your renewed relationship the best chance of success. Number 1, give it some time. Rushing into things can increase the likelihood of the same issues reoccurring in your relationship. There's no need to rush. Take your time getting to know your ex again. A lot may have changed since you were last intimate with each other. Number 2, avoid repeating past mistakes. It's important to reflect on what caused your breakup. If you don't fully understand the reason as to why you and your partner broke up, you're likely to repeat the same mistakes. Number 3, communicate openly. Be honest and transparent about your feelings and concerns. Getting back with an ex is challenging, so you've got to be open and honest about what's on your mind if you want things to work out. Number 4, refrain from bringing up the past. Try to focus on the present and the future. While you have to acknowledge why you and your partner broke up, don't spend too much time focusing on the things that have already happened. Bringing baggage from your past into your present will be detrimental to your future. Number 5, build new memories. When getting back with an ex, you don't want to live in the past, so it's important to try new things and explore new places. Create new memories that you and your partner can enjoy in the future. Number 6, set boundaries. Make sure that you're both clear on your boundaries and what you want from the relationship. Setting boundaries is something that people often don't like doing or forget to do altogether. Having healthy boundaries with your partner will protect your relationship. Number 7, be respectful. Treat your ex with the same respect and kindness as you would a new partner. Sometimes, People make a habit of treating their partner like they did the previous time they were together, which in some cases could have been the downfall of the relationship to begin with. Now that you have a few reasons as to why getting back with your ex may be viable and how you can go about doing that, what are the reasons as to why you shouldn't get back together? Just because you care for someone doesn't mean you should be together. It's possible to love someone and still recognize that a healthy relationship isn't sustainable with that person. Here are 5 reasons as to why it'd be better for you to move on from an old flame. Number 1. It was an abusive relationship. It's never easy to move on from a relationship, especially when it's someone you love and have an undeniable physical attraction to. One of the biggest red flags to look out for is if your relationship involved abuse, whether it was physical, emotional, or financial, because these bad patterns of behavior will likely reoccur. Abusive relationships can leave long-lasting scars physically and emotionally. Physical abuse is harmful, and it's never acceptable, and emotional abuse can be just as bad. Even though it may not leave physical evidence, emotional abuse can be just as traumatic. Constant belittling, manipulation, and controlling behavior isn't something you want to go back to. Financial abuse is another form of manipulation that abusive partners use, and restricting access to funds, which can make someone feel powerless and trapped. Number 2, they haven't changed. If your ex hasn't shown any significant change, it could be a sign that getting back with them would end exactly as it did before. It's easy to fall back into old habits, so take an honest look at your ex's behavior to see if it's worth giving the relationship another shot. Number 3, you haven't forgiven them truly. Unforgiveness in a relationship can be toxic and lead to resentment and bitterness. It can also hinder your ability to trust your ex again and move forward in a healthy manner. If you find yourself constantly bringing up past grievances or are unable to let go of any anger or hurt, it may be a sign that you've not fully forgiven your ex for whatever they did. If your ex cheated on you, this won't be something you can get over easily, and there's a good chance that you might never be able to let it go. Number 4, you're doing it to please them or others. It might be that your ex is constantly asking to get back together, or your family and friends insist on giving them another chance. If you get back with someone for the wrong reasons, you're likely to enter a relationship with unequal levels of investment and interest. Number 5, settling for comfort. Sometimes, the desire to get back with an ex comes from the fear of being alone, or a reluctance to face the challenge of starting something new. Settling for the familiarity of an old relationship can hinder your personal growth, which might stop you from being with someone more suitable. Getting back with an ex is tempting because you're already familiar with them. Sometimes people want to get back together because they've already invested so much into the relationship. Because so much time and effort was put into the relationship, some people don't want to feel like it was all for nothing. Humans are very emotional, and sometimes we tend to think with our hearts instead of our heads. If you're struggling with your love life and would like some clarity, you can connect with our love psychics. On our 24-hour service, you can get all the answers you could ever need. Remember, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content.